daughters and allies of the new dawn. We're looking for people who share our values and our commitment to fighting against patriarchal norms. And of course, we're also looking for people who are skilled in combat and can help us take on the tougher jobs. We think you'd be a great fit, Misty.
What can I help you with?
What do you say? Are you interested in joining us?
Of course.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more about the group's values and mission.
Love, Abiona, do you want to handle that question?
Yes, I'll take that one. Our group's values are centered around challenging the patriarchal norms that have held us back for so long. We believe in equality, justice, and freedom for all individuals, regardless of their background or identity. We're not just a mercenary group. We're a movement.
And as part of that movement, we're committed to creating a safe and supportive space for our members. We value consent, communication, and mutual respect above all else. We're not just fighting for a cause, we're fighting for each other.
And do you guys want to tell her about our unique aspect, like the after the sun goes down part?
Ah, yes. I think it's time we shared our little secret with Misty. You see, we're not just a mercenary group, we're a community. And as part of that community, we've developed a unique way of bonding and strengthening our relationships with each other. After the sun goes down, we share our beds and our hearts with each other, in a way that's consensual and mutually respectful.
It's not for everyone, we know, but for us, it's a way of deepening our connections and building trust. And it's not just about romance or sex, it's about intimacy and vulnerability.
We're a group that values honesty and openness, and this is just one way we express that.
And it's not just about the physical aspect, it's about creating a sense of family and belonging. We're a group that looks out for each other in every way.
So what do you think, Misty?
I must admit, I'm intrigued by your proposal. I've never been one for traditional groups or organizations, but there's something about your energy that resonates with me. The idea of a community that values consent, communication, and mutual respect is appealing, to say the least. And I must admit, I'm curious about this unique aspect of your group. But I'm also a practical woman, and I need to know more about the specifics of our arrangement. What kind of missions would we be taking on? What's the pay like? And what's the expectation for our extracurricular activities?
Well, the pay I can talk about, and that is 100 septims per week, plus you get first pick of any gear that we pick up along the way, plus everybody who is on an active mission gets an equal share of any treasure that we find that is over a certain cap. I don't remember what it is, but it's the cap is enough to pay for our collective expenses, like the home and the food and stuff like that. But anything above that is shared equally. The rest of the ladies can tell you the other parts.
Ah, the missions. Well, we're a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. We take on jobs that align with our values, whether it's protecting a village from bandits or retrieving an artifact for a client. We're not limited to any one type of mission, and we're always looking for new opportunities.
And as for the expectations around our extracurricular activities, I think it's safe to say that we're a group that values honesty and communication. We're not looking to pressure anyone into anything they're not comfortable with, but we do expect our members to be open and respectful of each other's boundaries.
Yes, and we're not just talking about physical intimacy either. We're talking about emotional intimacy too. We're a group that values vulnerability and trust. And we expect our members to be willing to work on building those things with each other.
And I think it's worth noting that we're not a group that's looking to change anyone or try to mold them into something they're not. We're looking for people who are already aligned with our values and are looking for a community that shares those values.
And I think one of the four of you should probably explain the one very special rule that sets us apart. I mean, it's not just, the one special rule.
Ah, yes. The one rule that's often a point of interest for new members. Wampi, would you like to explain it to Misty?
Yes, of course. The rule is that no two members can share a bed with the same person more than one night in a row. It's a way of preventing strong attachments and encouraging a sense of community and sharing among all members. It's not always easy, but it's a key part of what makes our group work.
It's a way of keeping things fresh and exciting, and preventing cliques from forming. We're a group that values diversity and variety, and this rule helps us achieve that.
And it's not just about the physical aspect either. It's about emotional intimacy and connection too. We're a group that values deep connections with multiple people, and this rule helps us foster that.
Yes, the founder of the original group, whose name was Calliope, found that you never fight so hard for somebody as you fight for the person that you woke up with that morning. And it's not about discouraging strong relationships with others. It's about encouraging strong relationships with everybody in the group. What do you think, Misty?
I think that's a fascinating perspective, Tazo. I've seen it in battle where loyalty and camaraderie can make all the difference in the heat of the moment. But I've also seen how attachment to one person can lead to division and exclusivity. It's an interesting balance to strike, and I appreciate the thought and intention behind this rule. As someone who's been on her own for a long time, I'm intrigued by the idea of cultivating deep connections with multiple people. I must admit, I'm curious to see how this dynamic plays out in practice.
Well, the one other thing that is important to Calliope's original vision is, as the women have expressed, consent. And the rule is that being here is voluntary, and as long as you are here, that is a very clear expression of your ongoing consent. And if you choose to withdraw consent, then no harm, no foul. You can go back to living your life and, yeah.
Ah, I appreciate the emphasis on consent and voluntary participation. It's refreshing to see a group that prioritizes mutual respect and autonomy. The idea that my presence here is a clear expression of my ongoing consent is a powerful one, and it makes me feel more at ease. I think it's essential to have a clear understanding of boundaries and expectations, and it sounds like this group has thoughtfully considered these aspects.
Exactly, Misty. We want to create a space where everyone feels safe, respected, and empowered to make their own choices. Consent is not just a buzzword for us. It's a fundamental principle that guides everything we do.
And it's not just about physical boundaries either. We're also talking about emotional boundaries and respect for each other's needs and desires.
We're a group that values communication, active listening, and empathy. We're not perfect, but we're committed to creating a space where everyone can thrive.
And if you ever feel uncomfortable or unsure about anything, we encourage you to speak up and communicate your concerns. We're here to support each other, and we want to make sure everyone feels heard and valued.
So what do you say, Misty?
I'm saying that I'm interested in joining your group, Tazo. I appreciate the values and principles that you've shared with me, and I think I would be a good fit. I'm willing to learn and grow with the group, and I'm excited about the idea of building strong relationships with everyone. I need to be able to continue my own pursuits and interests outside of the group. I have certain obligations and commitments that I need to attend to, and I want to make sure that I can balance those with my participation in the group.
I think that's a reasonable request, Misty. We're not looking to control or restrict our members' lives. We want people to be able to pursue their passions and interests, as long as they're not in conflict with our values and principles.
Absolutely. We're a group that values autonomy and individuality, and we want to support each other in our respective pursuits.
So, what do you say, Misty? Are you ready to join us and see where this journey takes us?
Well, Misty?
Yes, Tazo?
It seems like we've had a good conversation, and we're all on the same page.
Why don't we make it official then?
Yes. Let's welcome Misty to our little family.
We can have a little ceremony to mark the occasion if you'd like.
Love, what would a ceremony like that be like? I hadn't given that any thought.
Well, we could make it a special moment. We could light some candles, share a bottle of wine, and just take a moment to acknowledge the new connection we're making with Misty.
And maybe share a little story or two about our group's history and the values that brought us together.
Yes, that sounds lovely. We could also make it a bit more intimate, if Misty is comfortable with that.
We could make it a special welcome, indeed.
I think that sounds beautiful. I'd be honored to be a part of it.
Okay then, let's get this party started.
All right, let's get started then.
I'll get the wine and some glasses.
Time passes.
We continue to chat, but not about anything important until some time later.